Ladies and gentlemen, I go by caution, Mr. 700. You are now tapped into Allova Radio, reporting live from Thug's Mansion, as we like to call it. And I'm here with a specific group of people, man, to talk about a thing that I love and appreciate a lot, which is music. And as if you've ever paid attention to our productions, you'll know that we like to get into the intricacies of it, not just with the artists and the beats and the bars, but sometimes what goes on behind the music to make shit shake. And so we got my guy Sweets in the building.
Yeah.
And let the people know who you are and what you do, my brother, and who you came here with this evening.
Man, I am Sweet the Chief, super mogul manager. I came here with two of my artists, 1Willaye and Brionne the Don.
Nice, man.
So.
Nice. And we did just get a chance to talk to Brionne. But let me talk to my guy over here. Let him know who you are, man, and what you do, because you came in real modest. And anytime anybody comes in here like that, I know they got some shit up their sleeve, man. So let the people know who you are and what you do, man.
Word. My name is 1Willaye the Wizard, Mr. Check the Figures, live and direct.
Nice. And you from Dallas?
Yeah, from Dallas, Oak Cliff, to be exact.
Nice.
Cliffside, no side.
Tell me something about Oak Cliff.
Pleasant Grove.
Yeah, Leah, make sure you represent though.
It's still Oak Cliff.
Tell me something about Oak Cliff I wouldn't know if I wasn't from here.
It's beautiful and treacherous all at the same time.
Nice.
It's the best place to be and the worst place to be, but it's home. So
facts. You know, the people have a lot of misconceptions about the inner city, right? And like what you would deem the ghetto. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I grew up in Compton, and so I just kind of feel like, when people talk about certain things, they miss out on the beautiful parts of it and what comes from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's dope for people to come from these type of surroundings and still make some of themselves. So shout out to you.
Appreciate that.
Now you're an artist.
Yep.
A producer?
Yep.
Okay.
And a DJ.
I was finna say, and a DJ?
Yes, sir.
Good old trifecta?
Uh-huh.
What are you more passionate about? And I hate to ask this question.
No, that's a great
I feel like
question.
it's disrespectful sometimes.
No, it's not, because as we were talking about earlier, just about like how one thing leads to the next and that being aligned with purpose being like an onion. It started with DJing, and I was super passionate about that.
So that's what started first?
Absolutely.
Gotcha. And then what came next?
Producing,
okay.
And then I realized I had more to say, I had more to say than to just curate, feelings and emotions. And so what I'm more passionate about these days for sure is artistry.
Nice.
Nothing like
nice. If you had to define your artistry in a word, what would you, not to sum it up in a word, it can be 3, but just give me like a short soliloquy about how you define yourself as an artist.
Soliloquy.
Yeah, that's one of my
pull it out the bag.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Keep in the bag just for
sure. Intentional.
I like that. Something with a purpose.
Just intentional. No matter what, intentional.
Nice.
That's one word for sure.
So R&B, are we rapping? What are we doing?
We're doing it all. Whatever hit me is what gets spent. I'm an artist.
Okay.
I move when move. I create when I'm told to create. And
Pendergrass.
Then when any of that shit was smooth or horns, you know what I'm saying? Bombs on that. But okay, so if I had never heard your music before and I was listening for the first time, it would be comparable to what?
Ooh.
And I feel like that's a disrespectful question.
No, it's not. It's not. Who's an artist?
I don't want to say you sound like anybody. That's what I'm trying to avoid.
So
this
is pretty bold, but I seen a tweet earlier today that if you put Kendrick Lamar discography on shuffle, you would get To Pimp a Butterfly, you would get Something Pop, you would get whatever. That's literally the boat I'm in right now.
Okay, so multifaceted.
Yeah.
Covering multiple things here. Okay, nice. I'm gonna have to tap in, man. I'm not gonna lie. And anybody watching this, I've never heard this man's music. I didn't even know he's gonna be here. So these questions are genuine. I'm not bullshitting nobody. Definitely. So how did you all come about? Like, how did this collective of people come about?
Who's gonna go first?
We from the bricks.
James will go first because he's older than us.
So actually, Willaye is my god brother. His mama, my mama is like super locked in.
Yeah, facts.
Like this predates us.
For sure.
Some whole other stuff we wouldn't even thought of. So we just always grew up together, always grew up at each other, and then as we grew older, we formed our own relationship outside of our parents. Then we went to Atwell together, went to Townview together, and Townview, I was an MC. I'm still an MC. Fuck that.
Not for sure.
Okay.
So I always hosted events. I always
Gotcha.
did things, through things.
Okay.
And he started DJing. We started MCing and DJing at the same time.
Yes, sir.
And so that just like grew into a big umbrella.
Y'all had a traditional hip hop start. You know what I'm saying? The
Absolutely.
DJ and the MC, huh?
And then
Against
God
the
was
parties.
like, y'all need a little sister.
Always.
And we were doing her parties.
Munchkin right here.
Yeah, I threw parties.
Yeah, she
Okay,
threw parties.
nice.
Well, me and my
she-
group of friends, it was
Yeah,
6 of
G-
us. We were
Oh,
all
God.
girls.
Shut up.
They all girls, and they used to like fuck a party. That shit was a function.
Yeah.
And you have to
It was-
understand, this is
yeah,
like
nice.
pre-alcohol, any
Yes.
type of
No
drug. Like, we were just
drugs.
legitimately
No
having
drugs.
fun.
Parents are chaperoning,
Nice.
like, and I'm talking about a good 650, 700.
Nah, for
Nah,
real.
seriously,
Easily.
themed out party pack wall to wall.
Yeah.
on some real deli shit. You know what I'm
Dope,
saying?
dope. That's cool.
Courtney was throwing them, and she was booking me and 1Willaye as MC and DJ.
Nice.
Every
nice.
fucking time.
And
Nice.
and it just grew into that. When I first like caught wind of Courtney with any type of artistry shit, she was doing poetry.
Nice.
So I was dropping mixtapes at the time. I had featuring on some of my poems, and we just kept getting older and kept fucking
Yeah, kept
growing.
doing
And
good.
we fuck with each other outside of music too, so that really helps our musical relationship.
Like, we went to
Right,
school
right, right.
together and everything.
Yeah,
and
we hang
we done a lot
out,
of first
weekends.
stuff together. Yeah.
when
Gotcha,
when I went to
gotcha.
college and come back, I'm pulling up on them,
That's
getting
dope.
something to eat. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, we just from around the way.
I feel like it was all natural.
No,
Yeah.
for shit,
Like,
sure.
Organic.
real natural. Real
Organic.
organic.
So let me ask y'all this: are y'all very like protective of this circle that y'all
Absolutely.
created?
Yeah.
So no new niggas. I'm with you, man.
No.
Listen.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you gotta watch it, man. Listen, the wrong individuals around you will fuck up the whole shit.
And one thing
testament.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you
Cut
good.
this.
No, go ahead.
One thing I do appreciate about like working with them is like in a managerial position is their authenticity. Like we have really real relationships.
Right.
Like at a point in time, because I'm super business minded, I'm super project based, and I'll be like, man, fuck real life.
Facts,
And then real
facts,
quick,
I'm
and they
tapping
get
in.
on my ass. Like one day, Courtney called me, and she was like, nah, Jameson, fuck you, cuz nigga, man, you don't be calling me, let's about some business, let's have some music, and I'm like, damn.
And he
that's-
called me like 2 days ago. He was like, "What you doing? I just want to talk."
I'm just, you know, nah, dead ass. But it's like I need that as much as I'm a manager, I need management
Facts,
as well.
facts,
It's a revolving door.
Oh, definitely.
So that type
definitely.
of thing really just keeps me grounded, and it helps push it further when you're working with a group of people that have the relationship that we have.
It builds
Facts.
trust.
It's
Builds
so yeah,
trust.
we're really familial.
You're only as strong as your team, though.
Nah,
And so,
for real.
you
Yeah.
know, a lot of times people don't understand the aspect of making themselves a asset instead of a liability.
For sure.
And like dragging dead weight will kill any type of situation. So as long as everybody holds their own and all the relationships are solid, typically that maintains a lot. But you know, you still gotta avoid them pitfalls that causes others too. You see all these stories of motherfuckers who blow together, that grew together, and
Yeah.
shit goes south.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, always pay attention to your history. I think
Right.
a lot of times with like hip hop and like the culture in general, we see the things that happen, but we always be like, oh, not us. And it's like, nah, bro.
Nah,
It's
it
just-
can be us.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But you have to
Facts.
understand, our foundation was started before like music. Like our
Which is
business
important.
foundation, like we've already done that. Like I've already booked them before. Like we've already done the
Facts.
business
We've already
thing.
bumped heads.
Yeah, we've already
done
bumped
with
heads.
Which is
Adam
the hard
Hart.
way to
Yeah.
do it, as far as I'm concerned.
We already
So-
like, you know, so
Right.
This isn't like the foundation of the business, if
Right.
that makes sense.
It
Like
just
we've already,
grew into
it just grew
this.
into this.
Gotcha.
So-
That's dope. That's dope.
And I be telling them all the time, like, shit, I want you to get a better manager. And they be like, no. And I'm like, no, nigga. You're supposed to get a big name. You know, I feel like, I don't think we hold each other back from elevation. So I feel like if you're able to get you a certain manager with certain industry connects
you
that I don't have, I want that for you.
Right.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
I feel like that's like a humble statement to say. I feel like it's okay to like have somebody in addition, but I'm not finna
Nah,
like
fuck that.
I'm not
Throw me
about to
on
do
merch.
it.
I'll be alright.
No.
Like, you
Throw
know
me on
what I'm saying?
merch.
Like,
I mean,
I'll make some shit say,
but you're still in the ecosystem. Like
Yeah.
like a whole switcheroo is just not something that's in my
Yeah, I think, and that would have to be like, I think that would take away a little bit. I think
would.
that would, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
There's a certain energy already
Yeah,
curated.
and I
within
feel
this.
like you have an idea of what works. You just would probably need somebody to help you in the, you know, from
That's
because
that, yeah.
every tier of this shit, I promise you, it requires an additional piece of
Yes.
something to make it up. You don't just go to the next step
Yeah.
the same.
I
You know what I'm
respect
saying?
it. Yeah,
I never seen it happen. So you start here. These are
Yeah.
my people. I'm gonna add this nigga in, but on a business sense, because I don't want you fucking up the vibe. But I do need you for the levels that I never reached before, and that next level is gonna require another person. And so you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but you
I
never,
fuck with you.
so y'all, it'll never change. Like
Keep the core.
Facts.
Already.
Keep
Facts.
the core.
Nah,
Keep the core. Chief Directors of the town.
They made me start a label. I got a whole label now, but I don't promote it as a label.
Right.
I just had to put a name to the shit.
Facts.
But,
It's like a conglomerate.
Yeah,
What is it?
Yes.
Essentially,
Yes.
It's Core, CORE, Chief
Nice.
Directors and Entertainment.
okay, nice.
So
nice,
I don't
nice.
plan on just managing artists. I want to manage everything.
Everything,
Go to
okay.
project management shit.
Facts.
Whether you're a model, whether you're a creative director.
Bro, say all encompassing.
Nah, I think I have a crazy mind when it comes to marketing. Like I can make something.
Yeah, never limit yourself either. I think
For sure.
expanding on whatever idea comes, it turns into something else. Like shit, I was always a rapper, bro. I never thought about none of this shit. I never cared about none of this.
And you're so fucking good at it.
But you know the
Yeah.
crazy part is what I struggled with early as an artist was like, you know, I grew up in the blog era. So, you know, we used to see the shit happen and the media would be a certain way. We would get our information from certain people that we trusted and shit would work a certain way. Even, you know, I'm kind of old. I'm older. So, you know, I was into the Source magazines and shit early on and shit like that because I trusted these people. I didn't know hip hop before y'all. But coming up as a rapper, it was hard as fuck to find somebody who can do something like this and not hit me over the head as far as money goes and not lil bro me the whole way through because I hate that shit. Like, and so my main goal with this shit was like to provide that environment for a motherfucker to be able to experience it, bro. Like it's a real thing. And so that's what the motivation is. And so like how you say that wasn't your plan. Eventually that shit was gonna blossom anyway. To the point where you're gonna be like, oh shit, it's moving. I gotta call this shit something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fucking
Do you
Frank
feel
Lucas.
like- I'm sorry.
No, you good. Go
Do
ahead.
you feel like you took a back burner on rap? And like, if so, do you want to get back into it or?
No, listen. What I did was the performing aspect was something that always took a back burner. So it wasn't the material that I lacked on. So what I did was I did a project with Jawborn. Shout out to Jawborn.
Shout out to Ja. I love Ja.
Me and Ja did an EP, and what I did was I stripped all my old music off. And it was like I left that there, and then I just started performing everywhere. Like I was here. I did, like I said, I did this tour twice. I did it with Jizza. You know, I've been to Florida performing. You know, luckily, shout out to Clockwork, performing everywhere, Atlanta, just doing shows to see if people even fucked with my music. You know what I'm saying? And so luckily, I've been blessed enough to do that to where I don't have to like stress myself about getting these kind of shows, and that way I can just create music. This shit came because we started doing the podcast. You know, paying for studio time to do it.
Right.
And I realized, like, damn, bro, I can do this shit myself. You know what I'm saying? So then I learned how to make money off of it.
There you go.
So it's like this shit gets the doors open, and then when you get in there, it's like, oh, you rap too. Like, oh, this is, so it's just a conversation
So
starter.
you started a podcast so you wouldn't get charged to ultimately make a podcast that's charged.
Yeah, we started one, and we were, like, literally, we were going to pay for, like, shout out to Mark McCray at Podcast Suites is where we started. We would pay for an hour. We go in and have somebody record it for us, and they would edit it for us. We take the audio, and I'm paying $150, $160 every time I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And so eventually I just went to him and I was like, hey, bro, you mind if I work here for you? You seem to be busy. I can
that's
take
real,
over,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, what
Come
you
and
do.
ask it.
Bro was like, yeah. So then I started doing my shit from there. I had another location that was probably about this space that y'all sitting in, little as hell.
Yeah.
And all this shit you see was in there, essentially. And so it just gradually grew. You know what I'm saying? And so as it grew, it was like, I may need to pay a little more attention to this. I never thought I'd be in this environment. Of course, this is beyond
this
my
is
wildest.
a vibe.
You know what I'm
This is
saying?
so
Like,
very
it's,
much
To the viewers, this whole setup is a vibe.
This
Like,
is a real podcast.
and that was the other thing, going somewhere, trying to find somewhere that made you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a table with a mic on top and a
Yeah,
white
yeah.
back. Nah, that never made me feel good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so it's just providing the atmosphere, man. And it's dope to sit down with dope creatives like y'all in this space, because then we get to talk about the shit that matters. Like, I don't want to get you in here and be like, oh, what motivates you? Who's your favorite artist? And like, no, you know, that's the typical
Right.
interview shit. What do you all see this? What is the goal of this conglomerate that you have here? Like, if you can say 5 years from now, what are we doing?
I know my goals for these niggas.
What is it? Honestly, that's a good question.
We got short-term goals and long-term goals.
Right.
I try to work with them individually and check them off the checklist. But I want distribution deals for both of them, multiple, and I want them to remain independent if that's their choice, and develop a cult following first, and then a national following. So, and that's at the very least. Those are my overarching goals that I have in mind for them as artists.
Gotcha. Y'all in tandem with those?
Yeah, that's cute.
Absolutely.
It's cute.
And, so, and to take that foundation and asset, and then literally do what the greats have done. Like Jay-Z and Rihanna and Kanye didn't get rich off of music. They got rich off of the brands that they created
Facts.
through their music
Big
and sold a
facts.
product that aligned with that brand.
Yep.
And so just the other day we were brainstorming on, man, what could you, if we can get you a brand deal, what would it
Like,
be?
what are the things you like to do? Like, what are the
okay.
things you
So
like
it'd
to
be
engage with?
shoes for Brionne. It'll be jackets for me. It'll be
Perfumes, colognes,
cologne, you
stuff
know,
like that.
shades, whatever like makes the most sense and aligns
Gotcha.
with each person's brand.
I like
That's
that.
what we want to curate and then
Tangible shit.
literally,
Yeah.
Facts.
literally.
Facts.
We kind of want to just carry like a lifestyle. Like, this is a
Yeah, I want freedom. I want my time back.
Facts.
I want freedom.
You know, and the dopest part of it is if it's authentic, then what you're selling is you.
Literally,
It's the easiest thing to do.
and that's why
People
It's
overcomplicate
not. It's actually the hard. I feel like that's harder.
You think so?
I think being authentic, maintaining authenticity as you keep going is harder than being like just changing and being
Faking
like
it till
whatever.
you make
Yeah,
it.
because of the politics, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
harder to be real. Like, I mean, that's just like in general.
You know what? I used to feel that way, and I do feel it in certain instances because being real sometimes will cause others to feel a certain kind of way because you're too real.
You can
Being real,
offend them.
sometimes you're walking a path by yourself, and
Facts.
maybe some
Right.
like 20 people are walking in this way, and you like, damn, I gotta go to the right, like, and you
Yeah.
don't want to.
I'd be
but
good with that though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I think.
Sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I mean, just
Yeah.
me being honest. Sometimes you
Yeah,
would be
we're
like,
human.
damn, I want to go hang out with my friends
Yeah,
or like
we're
whatever.
human. We're human.
But sometimes you just be like, damn, like I know better. I gotta go this way. Like,
Yeah, I think if you dedicate yourself to that, though, you have to kind of go with what comes with it.
yep.
And so if you're okay with losing in order to gain eventually, you know, the adding by subtracting theory, then that's okay depending on your time period that you're looking to accomplish something.
Yep.
Now, if you're looking for instant gratification,
Yeah.
you're going to have to play the game a certain
Yeah.
way to get where you're
Right.
going. So that's a natural thing to do. But if you're willing to take the time to cultivate something that's natural and feels real, then yeah.
Yeah, we walking. Everybody else fucking running. Y'all getting tired.
Nah,
We been
facts.
walking.
Facts.
We ain't tired.
Yeah. But then don't use the traditional the marathon. Don't say that. I hate when people say that.
Why? Rest in peace to Nip. It
Because
is a
most
marathon.
niggas don't be willing to run one.
Yeah, niggas quit.
They just use the term.
That's a bar.
Call it a 5K.
You
or
really
something.
don't. You really don't.
Yeah,
know
I'm
what
on,
that
I'm on this
means.
5K
You
because
really
that's
don't
what
know
niggas be willing to do. Like,
that look like.
if you think about it, think about where you started and how many people made it to where you are right now. It's a very short list. I probably started off with 10 niggas. We all had the same goals.
Yeah.
You'll see me with no more than 2 of them now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not because we have anything different going on. It's just life goes through, transitional phases. And then if a person isn't ready for that transition for you, sometimes they won't even understand why we not as close as we are no more.
I think that's the hardest thing that I've been having to deal with.
Yeah.
Like just the transitionary phases of like having to maybe leave people behind, or maybe somebody's leaving me behind. Maybe I'm not ready. It's
It's
like,
just your vision of you may be different than what yours is of me. Like I can't compensate for who you think I should be for you.